lost authority. This is exactly what we're talking about. Please pay close attention. This was God and man. They were not enemies, they were friends. Then Satan came, and through deception of the woman, the man decided to eat. I don't want to go into too much doctrinal issues about that. Just take it. To eat of the fruit. And when the moment he did that, something happened. Remember, God said, the wages of sin is what? Death. And what is spiritual death? Separation from God. There was separation between man and God. That separation is the authority that he lost. That separation between man and God is the dominion that he lost. That separation from the source of life gave Satan the power to dominate man. And if man must receive the authority again, then there need to be a reconciliation. Am I communicating tonight? There has to be a reconciliation. Man has to be reconciled. Why? Because at this point, man is now a sinner. At this point, man doesn't have strength to return to God. At this point, the wrath of God is on man. The wrath of God is on man. At this point, man is an enemy of God. Salvation came as a result of eating from the tree. Dying on the tree will bring reconciliation. Because it is a tree thing. So, what exactly did he do? Colossians 1:20. Please remain there. Call me. Colossians 1:20. And having made peace, or having reconciled man back to God through the blood of his cross. Now listen. When he said through the blood of his cross, he does not mean the liquid blood. That's not what he meant in this. The word, the blood of his cross, is talking about the totality of what transpired on the cross that brought about the reconciliation. Because if it was only the blood that poured out, then reconciliation would not have taken place. Am I still communicating? Hey, am I teaching? So when you said the blood of his cross, he was talking about his death, which is a sacrificial on the cross as a criminal, and 2, his burial, and 3, his resurrection. These 3 things what is called the blood of his cross. By him to reconcile all things in earth or things in heaven. Ephesians 2 verse 14. Ephesians 2 verse 14. For he is our peace. Hallelujah. God is our peace. Because of Christ, God is no longer angry at you anymore. The wrath of God has been appeased in Christ Jesus. Now, you have confidence and access. You shouldn't be afraid to approach him anymore. Do not mind those people that tell you that the judgment of God is upon you. There is no more judgment. Rather, the judgment of sin, take note. The judgment of sin was judged on Christ. So, he is our peace. Romans 5:1. Romans 5:1. Therefore, being justified by faith, we have what? Peace with God through our Lord Jesus Christ. We have peace with him. We have peace with him. He is not like that God that is carrying stick to beat you. He's not like our fathers, who when you commit a crime, he will tell you, I'm waiting for you. You know, there are some parents who will not talk to the child and they will be waiting for the child to sleep. When the child is asleep, fast asleep, they will now bring the cane and they will wake you. Get up. Get up. Okay. I've been telling you, say, make you no come out. But you left. Why did you do it? A child with sleep eyes. You take the cane. Oh, I tell you, and as a result of that, Cain, your child will begin to relate with you, not based on love, will begin to relate with you based on what? Fear. God is not like that. God is not man. His relationship with man is completely different. That cane, he has dropped it. Because he used that cane on Jesus Christ. How can Jesus take your punishment and again you want to take the punishment that he has taken for you? No, now. He has reconciled us. In Isaiah 51, I've closed with this. Isaiah 53 verse 5. He said, but he was wounded for our transgressions. He was bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement or the punishment of our peace was upon him. Jesus was punished so that you can be returned back to favor with God. On this basis of reconciliation, you have now found favor with God. You and God now walk together. Wherever God walks, that's where you go. Wherever you go, that's where he goes. Both of you are now together. Inseparable. It is on this basis of being reconciled that you stand to ask anything. When you ask anything, he will surely give it to you. You won't be able to say any longer that it is because of your sin. That is why God is withholding this from you. You won't because of this to say that it is because of your sin. That is why this miracle is not happening in your life. No. That's not our God. Remember, he has become your father. And he is not a wicked father. He is not like man who will keep record of your wrongdoings. And then as long as you offended him, he will always put it in a diary. 13th day of January 1935. You did this to me. No. He said, I am he that blotted out your transgressions, and I will remember them no more. God is not remembering your sins. God is not remembering him. Why? Because you have been reconciled to him. So Jesus said, ask anything in my authority. Why? Because I am the one that has brought about the reconciliation. Do you have any need in life? Ask him. Don't say that you have not been healed because you offended God. I've heard people come to me and say, Pastor, I know that God has refused to answer me simply because I did this, I did this, I did that. And I will tell them, at least you don't know this your God. If you know that this your God does not remember, if you know that this your God is not counting. In fact, 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 18 says, please turn to it. 2 Corinthians 5. He said, and all things are of God, who had reconciled us to himself by Jesus Christ, and has given to us the ministry of reconciliation. Next. To wit, that God was in Christ, doing what? Reconciling the world unto himself, not imputing their trespasses. He wasn't imputing their trespasses on them. God wasn't counting your sins. That's why any prophet that goes to dig out your sin to present to you that is the reason for this is a lying prophet. He's not from God. How can you dig out what God has covered? And not only covered, he has dismissed it. Can we have another translation of this? King James. He said it was God personally present. Where? In Christ. Doing what? Reconciling and restoring the world, not even believers, to favor with himself. Not counting up and holding against men their trespasses. But, what did he do? Canceling them. He canceled them. In Hebrews chapter 8 verse 6, I close with that. Hebrews chapter 8 verse 6. King James. But now, had he obtained a more excellent ministry, by how much? Also, he's the mediator. It is God that is the mediator. Hey, hear me well. No man is your mediator between God and you. That is why when you are praying, don't say, God of Pastor Chibuzo, I am not your mediator. Hey, did you hear what I've just said? God has placed me in an office, yes, but that doesn't make me your mediator. There is only one mediator between God and man, the man Christ Jesus. Only one. No prophet, no priest or priestess, no candle. What do they call them? It doesn't matter the title. No, don't do that. By how much more also he is the mediator of a better covenant, which was established upon better promises. Yes. For if that first covenant had been faultless, then should no place be sought, should have been sought for the second. For finding fault with them, he saith, behold, the days come, saith the Lord, when I will make a new covenant with the house of Israel and with the house of Judah. Yes, not according to the covenant that I made with their fathers. No, this covenant is completely different. The covenant I made with their fathers, I said, the sins of the fathers will come upon the children, even to the third and fourth what? Generation. He said, this other covenant is going to be a different covenant. He said, I met with their fathers in the day when I took them by the hand to lead them out of the land of Egypt, because they continued not in my covenant. I regarded them not, saith the Lord. For this is the covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, saith the Lord. I will put my laws into their mind and write them where? In their heart. And I will be to them what? A God. And they shall be to me what? A people. Yes. And they shall not teach every man his neighbor and every man his brother, saying, know the Lord. No. Once the gospel is preached, you will know this is the gospel of salvation. He said, for all shall know me, from the least to what? To the greatest. For I will be merciful to their what? And their sins and their iniquities will I do what? Why are you afraid? He's not remembering your sin. No. Why? Because on the basis of reconciliation, you are now one with God. That's why he said, come boldly to the throne of grace and obtain mercy and grace